Hello, everybody. My name is Helen Lacey, and I'm a principal consultant for HRGO Recruitment. And welcome back to our Recruitment Unplugged series, where every week we have a guest speaker on talking about recruitment and anything related to recruitment. And I have the privilege and the honour of having the lovely Ashna. Hi, Ashna.
Good morning, Helen. Thank you so much for your lovely introduction. So I'm Ashna. I've been working with HRGO now for it's just coming up to 2 years. My background was in sales and in customer service and various different industries. But I'm currently now an on-site recruitment consultant for one of our larger national clients
Perfect stuff.
in the
And that leads
country.
in really nicely to what we're going to be talking about today, which is the on-site recruitment services that we at HRGO provide. So I think, first of all, Asha, just explain what does an on-site coordinator do? Because I don't think a lot of people or many business would have heard of that.
Yeah, so an on-site consultant, I would say, is pretty much if you imagine in a branch you have a recruitment consultant, it's pretty much having that facility on site where the customer is. So, you'll have a dedicated service. It's a dedicated service, and it's basically you would you would work in collaboration with that client to deepen a relationship with them. You would ensure that you're able to give them support. You would ensure that you're able to give the candidate support, get the right candidates in, the full 360 recruitment process. We support with payroll, any challenges that the client might have as well. The current economic climate that we're in, there's lots of things that come up. So it's really just being an additional arm of support. That's how I look at it,
Yeah.
and being there for the client. So yeah, it's great.
Oh, and it's very busy. I think it normally tends to be, am I right thinking, like where you have quite a volume of staff? Is that correct?
Yes, so my specific role, I specialize with a high volume of temp staff,
Okay.
and we have three sites. We have three sites in the UK. So I specialize for a site in the Midlands, and I have a colleague in the Glasgow area. Occasionally, we supply support, or I would support over there. And we also have another site in Dover, so southeast, and we'd support there as well.
Amazing.
So
So, sorry,
sorry, no,
carry
I
on.
was just going to say we could have like up to during our peak season, we could have up to 200 temps out. And in our quiet period, where it would tail down in manufacturing, within any manufacturing industry, it could be no temps at all, or it could be, single digits or mid-teens. So yeah, it really just depends on the client requirements. Yeah.
Mm. And you're offering is that sort of flexible but on-site recruitment support. So is there a typical day that you have, or is every day different?
I want to say no 2 days are the same, but yeah, I mean, looking at it from an outsider's perspective, I would say like a typical day is I arrive on site. I actually work slightly unique hours, I would say. So I start at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning,
Wow.
and then I'll stay on site with the client till about 2:30.
Okay.
Normally, if we're looking at a typical day, I would say a typical day would be I'd check in with the client first thing in the morning, and of course the candidates. Occasionally, we do get sickness. It's human nature. These kind of things happen. So check in with the client to make sure if they need any replacements. And then, yeah, it's really just having, regular check-ins with the candidates. We're finding that we're having a lot of conversations with the candidates nowadays, just around it. I would say I would class it as general support. So I like to have general conversations with the candidates. It could be around mental health, finances, um, just they might just want to have a chat. It could even be the client staff as well.
Mhm.
Although we're supporting and we provide the temporary agency staff, we could be supporting perhaps a permanent staff member and just having a chat with them. It could be about absolutely anything. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
And do you
sorry. Yeah.
feel, so I was going to say, do you feel that there's obviously a benefit to having an on-site when the company gets to a certain number of temps, or could this be managed, say, from a branch location?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Remote working is increasing. Everybody knows this, but I think there is a huge benefit of having an on-site consultant or having some support from a specific agency on, working with the client, because you're not only going to be supporting with things like onboarding and training, the daily admin tasks, but you're there sort of like every step of the way. And as I mentioned, we're working towards collaborative relationships. We're helping the client along the way through any challenges that they might have. I mean, I actually work in a shared office environment, so sometimes I feel like, you know. You might feel like it's really quiet, or you might feel like there's other stuff going on that you don't actually have no clue about, or whatever. But actually it means that you can have a deepened understanding of what the client are going through, challenges that they might be facing, and the opposite side of it is if they're celebrating successes or wins, you get to be part of that as well, which is great. So yeah, I would say there's a huge benefit in being on site, the biggest one being that you have a better understanding of what the client are expecting, or what they're going through, what's to
Yeah.
come. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, and what I hear is you're exceptionally good at what you do as well, Ashley, because it's not easy, certainly get up at those times in the morning and managing those number of temps. So one last question before we go. What do you enjoy most about the role?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I would say I enjoy having a really good relationship with the candidate. So just really getting to know them, being there for them, providing them with, it could be well-being support, it could be support around a family issue they might have, it could be a work-related issue, but just generally being there to provide them with support. And likewise with the client as well. You're there as an arm for them to lean on, which is great. I've learned a lot being in recruitment, yes, and
Yeah,
and being
there's
on site here.
yeah, there's certainly lots of skills needed, isn't there, being in recruitment, and
Yes.
certainly patience, organisational skills, people skills, all mixed into
Yeah.
that. So, thank you so much, Ashton. That was certainly a real insight into what an on-site coordinator does, and you know. I know you guys are extremely busy with the on-site stuff that with HRGO. So if there's any clients watching that feel that this is something that you would benefit from, then do reach out. We know there's always somebody happy to have a chat. So before we go, is there one last thing, anything else, Ashna, that you'd like to say, or have we covered it all?
I think I think we've covered it all. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be
Amazing.
catching up soon. But yeah.
We will. We'll have you
Thank you
back
very
on to talk
much.
about another topic. So over and out from us. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and tune in for the next one.